Hey, I'm your host, Sydney B, and welcome to another Honeylicious episode of The Social B Show.
Yes, Sydney.
We're kicking the show off with women dominating across the world. Later, we'll be discussing women in business, and finally, we'll wrap up the show with a little black card revolt. But before we can get into today's topic, let's cover some hot topics on The Sting. Women are in fact dominating every venue. When we think of the Forbes list, we think of rappers, entertainers, and more specifically, men who are the richest people in the world. Well, this Forbes list will shock you, and there is not one man on it. In fact, it's all about the women. Not only are women dominating in the education field, but in business as well. Forbes has named its top 5 most powerful women in business. On that list includes Sheryl Sandberg, Idra Novi, Irene Rosenfield, Virginia Rodney, and Ursula Burns. I just love Ursula's names. So congratulations to you all. Women, are you tired of not being able to break into the field of business or too afraid that a man will always be picked over you first? According to Forbes, and once again, yes, according to Forbes, there are 3 top ways a woman can boost their chances of success in business. First, manage your networks deliberately. Next, take an effective approach towards negotiating. And finally, hear no as not yet. Never take no for an answer. Follow these 3 tips and you will be the next Oprah in no time. Speaking of the next Oprah, a New York teen is accepted to 8 Ivy League schools. Augusta Uwanamaza was accepted to 12 colleges that she applied to, 8 of which were Ivy League schools, such as Harvard, Columbia, Princeton, Yale, University of Pennsylvania, and more. Such a big decision to make, and lucky for Augusta, she has a few weeks left to decide. Augusta plans to pursue a science major. The 17-year-old currently attends Elmont Memorial in Long Island, New York, where she accredits her family and teachers for her academic success. Now, before we can wrap up anything on this thing, you know we must talk about the buzzkill of the week. Well, what if something with 8 legs had to be removed from inside of you? A 2-year-old Kansas boy is in serious condition after doctors removed a small octopus from his throat. Yes, you heard me, an octopus. According to police, the octopus appeared to be intended for sushi preparation. The boy's 21-year-old mother came home to find her 36-year-old boyfriend performing CPR on the child who wasn't breathing. The boyfriend of the boy's mom was arrested on suspicion of child abuse. Okay, so we have to talk about it. Where did this little boy get this octopus from? I just gotta say the obvious. Where do you get this octopus from? I understand that the boyfriend is being held on suspicion of child abuse, but where did you find an octopus? And how did he get it? Those are the questions that I am still waiting to ask, and an investigation is currently taking place, ladies and gentlemen. But that is my biggest question. How did he find this octopus? Stay tuned, because I'll let you know. Well, that's all the time that I have for you tonight on This Thing. We will be speaking with a group of pretty awesome and successful women once we return. Stay tuned.
Treasure, and you're tuning into The Sizzle. First, we're gonna, women in business. 50 years ago, really maybe 10 or 20, it wasn't as big for women to be in the business role and to be CEO. Like, that's never heard of. So now seeing that we have all these women who sit at the table with executives, how does that make you feel as a man?
Well, I believe that it's very encouraging to see that, because I think women deserve just as much opportunity as men to be in the corporate world and be CEOs, and I think it affords a lot of young women, just the opportunity to, not close themselves into certain dreams. It allows them to dream more freely, knowing that they can do whatever it is that they want to do, no matter if they're, a female or whatever the case may be, that they can go as high as they want to go.
And how do you feel about women of color in particular in being a CEO or a COO? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I really love to see that, because if I have a daughter one day, she will be a woman of color, and it's good for her to have those role models that she can look up to, and someone that she can see that looks just like her, that may be doing something that she wants to do one day.
So, how do you feel about dating a woman that is a CEO?
I think there is a certain amount of intimidation that comes along with that naturally, just wanting to be the male and wanting to be the main provider. I do believe that you'd have to understand the dynamic of your relationship, and you can't be intimidated by that. You can't allow that. You can't feel like, that's taking you some of your manhood away because, she brings in more money than you. So it has to be the healthy balance between the partners. It's got to be two of the right people. I know for me personally, I've never been in that situation before, but I'm sure that if she was the right woman, I would be willing to definitely overlook it and support her on whatever she's doing.
Well, that's all the time we have today for the sizzle. I want to thank you, Kyle, for coming in. And don't forget to tweet us, Instagram us, Periscope us, and Snapchat us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Feminism isn't about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. Joining me now for Tea and Honey are Jerisha Hawk and Tamika Darnell. Welcome to the Beehive.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, how are you ladies doing today?
Awesome. Blessed.
Wonderful. So, you ready to get started? Because women rule, so we have to show them how we slay. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, in 30 seconds or less, tell us about whom you are and your business. Whoever wants to go first.
So my name is Jerisha Hawk, and I am a strategy coach and mentor for millennials through empoweryoudaily.org, where it is my mission to help individuals get to the next level in their lives. And outside of my entrepreneurial endeavors, I am a transmission pipeline engineer at Consumers Energy, where I enhance the quality of life.
I am Tamika Darnell, and I'm a fashion student here at Western. Recently, I've studied abroad to Italy. I went to Italy to study abroad and created a dress there, and I sold it it was sold in a store there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I do fashion. I love it.
Okay. And tell us, ladies, as professionals, what motivates you?
For me, working in corporate America, being a woman who also happens to be an engineer, who also happens to be of color, I'm a part of the 1% in the nation. Mm-hmm. And my true passion is really moving that needle and changing those statistics. There needs to be more women like me in STEM fields and just sitting at the table running these organizations, nonprofits, and government entities. So that's really what motivates me, is just helping to carve and trailblaze a new path. So when the next curly-haired, brown girl comes in the building, she has a way to get to wherever she wants to go.
Love it. And I really love moving that needle.
All day.
We just need to put it on a shirt. I love it. Okay, Tamika, what motivates you?
Oh, what motivates me is just, I'm really motivated by children. And although I do fashion, it's a desire created in my heart for children and nonprofit organizations. So I really want to do something with that, because I've recently worked with children last summer and I really enjoyed it, and I just love it, the children. So that's what I do this for.
Is there a project in your life that you consider to be most significant, and what would you say that is? And you design clothes, so I know you got something. I've seen you.
I don't know. I just love to, because I come from a place where it's just not a lot of inspiration. And so when I moved from the hometown that I was in, I started to explore more. And when I got into fashion, it was more for it was for myself, but it was for the people that I grew up with and the people that I grew up around. Just to show that it's more than just, I know it sounds a little cliche, but I'm genuine with it. It's honest. I just do it to show that it's more to the box that you live in.
Mm-hmm. And for me right now, I just launched a Goal Getter group, which is a 3-month coaching program for full-time professionals who are also flirting with entrepreneurship and really just helping them get to the next level in their lives. So we just finished our first month up, and it's just absolutely exhilarating, and I'm just so full of joy and happiness for seeing how these women have really grown just over the past month through this program. So that's like my passion project right now.
And I love it. I think that they're phenomenal. So what drove you? You spoke about your hometown. What drove you? And what else, besides your hometown, what else drove you?
Again, it really goes back for me is just, when I got into corporate America and I looked at the chain, nobody looks like me. There are no women of color sitting at my executive level table. When you look across S&P 500, Fortune 500 companies, it's 13-ish% women are sitting at the big table in executive suite positions. And then you look at women of color, just people of color, period, it's like 0.5% to 1%, which is just mind-blowing to me, when a lot of us, we hold so much of the buying power in the country. So for me, it's just what can I do with the voice that I have and the leverage that I have in my company, within corporate America, to really just move that needle and change those demographics. Like, that's really what drives me.
Okay.
So for me, it was to just be more, just because, like it's easy to say that, like, oh, you come from this place, and because everybody has their own story, but like, I just want to do it for myself, you know? Like, I want to see more of the world. I try to motivate myself to push myself forward. I don't know. It's a little like, it's just, I don't know, just the motivation. I try to create motivation in myself to just broaden my horizons and just put myself out there.
Okay. And as two single and independent women, what sacrifices have you had to make as female entrepreneurs? Because, you know, we always think about the sacrifices that women have to make bearing children and having families, but what sacrifices do you have to make as a single woman?
I think for me, just taking more ownership over your time. Like, when I was in college is when I first started my first business, and trying to get an engineering degree, and I traveled a lot doing auto shows back then, so I couldn't kick it on Thursdays, you know, going to the library or hang out all the time on the weekends with my friends, or Netflix and chill. Like, we can work and chill, but we ain't gonna be able to Netflix and chill. I got stuff I gotta do. So just being real intentional with my time, and just getting more selective on who I spend my time with. I mean, it is sacrifices. Everybody can't make it to the team. There's, you know, everybody just can't make it. Like, everybody isn't gonna get that same amount of attention, or me just kicking it just to kick it, because I'm building an empire, and either you with it or you're not. Yeah, you gotta go. So, but it's definitely a sacrifice. Friendships and feeling lonely in that space. So that's definitely my sacrifice.
Oh yeah, I agree. I guess the biggest thing was that I've sacrificed mainly was money, time, and family, because those are like, you do so much, like, within the fashion industry. It takes up so much time, and in order to create a quality line or a garment, you have to spend money. You have to spend time on those details, and you have to spend time away from your friends and your family. And I really value friendship and family. I value money, you know, and I value my time. So those were the biggest sacrifices that I've had to make, and currently making right now. But it's a balance too as well. You gotta know, you can't be 90% work and 10% social life.
Definitely. And what would you ladies say are the top 3 skills needed in order to become successful?
I'd say first and foremost is just having that self-awareness, like being consciously self-aware, being intentional with what you're doing, and, you know, just being intentional, self-aware, and I'd say just being fearless, or being conscious of that fear, flirting with that fear. We all have it, but learning how to flirt with it and move past it are probably my biggest 3 things.
Okay.
I guess for me, what I would give would be take a risk, because, like, the most successful people take a risk, and if they didn't take that risk, they wouldn't be where they are now. The second thing would probably be I just had a brain freeze.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, can you repeat the question again?
Yes, honey. What are the top 3 skills that you believe are needed in order to become successful?
So take risk, manage your time, and don't be afraid to leave your comfort zone.
Definitely. And you spoke about taking risks. You also spoke about being fearless. In conjunction with those comes failure. But it's failure for you to learn from. So tell us about a time when you pretty much failed. That sounds like so interviewee. Like, tell me about a time when you failed. But tell me about a time when you essentially failed, and how did you overcome?
I don't look at failure as a negative thing, so it's really hard for me to answer that question, because even if it's a standard failure, that's just an opportunity for growth, and that's how I always look at it. But if I have to like force a failure here, maybe when I started my first business, I sold women's clothes, women's shoes, and I started with a bunch of stock. I'm like, I'm just buy a bunch of shoes. You buy them in packs of 12, and then hope and pray that they sell. And I'm like a month and a half in, you have all this overhead. If my size 12 and my size 5 don't sell, they're still sitting at my house, and that's money I paid out of. So I don't look at that as a failure, but it's really a learning opportunity, and I leverage that, learning how to get out of stock and working with a supplier to just, I only buy a product once it sells, so there is no overhead, there's no risk, it's 100% profit. That was a big lesson learned for me in my first business that saved me a ton of time and made me a ton of money. So I won't call it a failure though, it's a learning opportunity.
That's a learning opportunity, but that's that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, that's the answer.
I completely agree. Failure is definitely a learning opportunity. But I've had plenty of failures within my career being a student. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be my first line that I've ever done. Like when you're there, like when you're first starting out, you think it's the best thing that you've ever created because it's the first thing that you've ever created. But then I look back on it, I'm like, man, that was definitely a failure, but I learned so much from it. I learned what not to do. Like I've said, I've dealt with many challenges. I would like to call them challenges.
Yeah.
I don't like to call them failures. I mean, but that just
Little obstacles.
obstacles.
Exactly. I'm with it. And before we can wrap up anything, I have one very last question, so important to our viewers today. It's owed to them. What advice would you give to a female entrepreneur coming up, just starting off now in college?
I would say, well, I'll give two. One, do it, go. And two, get a mentor, get an advisor, build your personal board of directors. That's kind of how I look at it. But having individuals who you can go to when you don't know what you're doing, to avoid failure, to avoid those challenges, having that network of people who have done it, who are accomplished, who can give you that advice and that knowledge and that wisdom before you go forward too far and mess up. That is key. Get mentors, get advisors, reach out to people who you're interested in or who you admire or look up to as a role model, and ask them to mentor you and guide you. Do that first and foremost, I think.
I completely agree. And I would say that same thing. Do it. Just go for it. Because when I was coming into the industry that I'm in, it was a lot of doubt in me. Like, I can't do this, I can't do that, that's too expensive. But I did it because somebody encouraged me to do it. And so I would just tell them to do it. Don't waste no time. You just got to go for it. That in itself is already big enough. So
Most definitely. Ladies, thank you so much. But unfortunately, we are all out of time. But before we go to break, I have a tease for the bees. A big brother is 4 years old. The younger brother is half his age. How old will the little brother be when the big brother is 100? And I'll repeat it again. A big brother is 4 years old. The little brother is half his age. How old will the little brother be when the big brother is 100 years old? That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Tell us your answers on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook at The Social Bee Show, and tag it with hashtag Tees for the Bees. Stay tuned, because when we return, somebody's black card may be getting revoked. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In the studio with us today, we have Jerisha Hawk and Tamika Darnell. And it is time to play Black Card Revoked. Okay, so this is a very fun game that is out right now on Amazon, and it is pretty simple. Each of us have a card that says correct answer wins, and then another one that says majority rules. Pretty much how it goes. Once you choose the card that says correct answer wins, you, person whom is reading it, you cannot answer because you obviously have the answer right there. So that's cheating. So with that being said, it is between us, the remaining two whom are choosing the answer, to actually go ahead and vote. She, whom gets it wrong, gets her card revoked. Now, we have a little twist though. We have majority rules. Okay, now majority rules is where we're going to use the audience. Okay. So pretty much it's a very simple it's a question, 4 different answers with that question. You just have to choose one. The audience just has to choose. So are you ladies ready?
Let's go.
And this is like mainstream hip hop. I promise you it's fun. Like it's dope. Watch out. Alrighty. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Alright.
All right. So, here's my question. If someone puts their hand up on your hip, what is the appropriate response? So, do I read off the...
Yep, you read off all the answers.
Okay. A, I dip. B, we dip. C, you dip. Or D, all the above.
All the above.
All the above.
I'm about to say we both got our car revoked.
Okay.
All right, ladies. According to Mama, what does it mean if your ear keeps itching? Oh my gosh. You need to wash. Someone is talking about you. You need to see a doctor, or you're about to fall in love.
Somebody talking about
Somebody
you.
talking about you.
Y'all got it right.
That's just like when your mama say, if your hand itching, you get some money.
Mhm.
I've been waiting on my hand to itch. Okay. The question is, and this is a correct answer wins. Obviously, we've been reading correct answer wins. How many fights did the Fresh Prince get into before his mom got scared? Is it A, 5, B, 1, C, 2, or D, 3?
1.
That's hard. One. I know.
It's
I was.
one.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I was trying to
think
think
of
of
it.
I know, it's kind of like you got to listen to this. Okay, so we all keeping our black cards. Look at us. Oh, I got an extra majority. Oh, no, that means I have an extra card. Okay.
Okay, so do I go?
I can go. Okay. Audience, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the baddest reality show chick on television? Is it Evelyn Lozada, Portia Williams, Kenya Moore, or Rashida Frost?
Evelyn.
Kenya.
All of the above.
That is not an option.
It's Kenya. Look, it's Kenya.
It's
I'm
a
gonna
shame
say-
I don't watch none of these
I'm
people.
gonna say Kenya.
You gonna say Kenya?
I'm gonna go with my Tamika here.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to say Evelyn. Evelyn is
Evelyn.
pretty. Like, she is really pretty.
But Kenya thought the most shade.
Oh, yeah, this does say who's the baddest reality. I guess. Alright. I thought it was
Evelyn
like
crazy.
baddest, like prettiest, right?
I
Or
thought
baddest,
that is
like,
like do a lot. Like
oh, maybe this is baddest, like do a lot. Okay, they letting us know. So maybe we see. This is why we gotta talk about these things. Okay.
be Evelyn
Well, if that's the case, well, yeah, Evelyn. But you know what? Evelyn. Ever since Evelyn has gotten on Oprah's new show, when she's gotten her own reality show, she's calmed down. So I think she's kind of lost that title. So I would definitely say Kenya. Kenya tries it, but Portia wins it.
period.
Okay. You witness a fight. All right, y'all. Y'all witnessed a fight. What do you do next? Call the police. Film it with your camera. Break it up. Yell world star.
All
Man,
those are like crazy answers.
take your phone out.
I know that's what happens.
It does. And folks see a war star. Like, it's always that one person that you can rely on. Audience.
I'm recording.
They say they recording.
I feel like
friend,
world
I'm
star and recording go hand in hand.
Okay. All right.
Okay. When he sings, it makes you want to fall in love with somebody. Barry White, Luther Vandross, Teddy Pendergrass, and Marvin Gaye.
Luther.
It's a shame. I should know this.
Me too.
This is a much
Maybe I
better
should
one.
call my grandma.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend, 'cause
You don't get
Marvin
like
Gaye.
that.
I guess Marvin Gaye. They say Marvin Gaye.
Luther.
No, it's all about
Oh,
Marvin
maybe
Gaye.
Luther.
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 Take the
Come
card.
on now.
Take the cards.
Can I vote?
Just because he
Yes.
just because he
I'm gonna say
died, y'all
Luther.
can't be doing
You gonna say Luther?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Then why do you say Luther? Because we don't know.
Because, I mean, I never listened to him growing up, but when I did get older and listen to him, he was like the bomb. I was like, I wish I would have, listened to him, when, in his decade.
Okay. I'm with it. What does he make that song? When I was my father.
Yeah.
We disagree.
Tears.
It
Tears
just make you want
flowing
to
in.
cry, don't it? Like, oh my. Okay. Ooh. What's the nickname your mother gives your significant other? I gotta think of my mama. Your little boyfriend, your little friend, that fast tail heifer. What's her name?
My grandma, what's her name? What was that?
Oh, my mom called me your little friend, your little boyfriend. It depends on where we at. If he bring your little friend, your little boyfriend, like, that's what Bellyville be doing. For real. Okay, audience.
Your little boyfriend.
Your little boyfriend. It's more girls.
Trying to be funny.
The boys don't want to tell us. We know y'all mamas be talking about that fast tail heifer. Y'all don't have to tell us.
No, I don't know if it's
Okay, what movie does every black person have in their collection?
Oh,
Friday, Boys in the Hood, The Color Purple, or Scarface?
It's Friday.
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 It's definitely
Y'all,
Friday.
Scarface all day. I mean,
Scarface.
all of them are in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
But Scarface, like, come on.
Not Friday.
It's
Friday.
it's really Scarface. I ain't gonna lie,
When
Scarface.
you
Like a
think
lot of black
about it,
people
though.
watch Scarface.
Some of the younger black folks though.
Yeah, like
Everybody
we all
Friday
have
for
Friday.
every-
I can't quote you nothing but say hello to my little friend. Whereas Friday, I can give you the
whole
whole
thing.
thing. So
Now, would
I
I lose
think
my
it's
black card if I say I never saw?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Take it.
you know what? We both gotta get taken because I never really seen
See?
it either.
I know
I only
that
seen like
quote,
bits
too,
and
and I
pieces of
haven't
it.
Take it.
I did.
I was like, y'all missing for the weekend.
There you go.
Watch Scarface while y'all voting on Facebook.
Yes, vote for me. Yes, definitely. Okay. Oh, it's your turn.
Okay. Which R&B songstress would you want to have your back in a fight? Okay, now this is about to get real. K. Michelle, Rihanna, Keisha Cole, or Tamar Braxton?
Keisha Cole.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle got my back.
Michelle.
No,
Say it again.
Keisha Cole from Oakland. She got the hands.
Which R&B songstress would you want to have your back in a fight?
And where?
I think Keisha, man, she be singing them blues.
Keisha.
I feel like she got the
Keisha from
hands.
K. Michelle, Rihanna, Keisha Cole, or Tamar Braxton?
Keisha Cole, but you know what? Rihanna crazy.
She is.
Okay.
Yeah, but K. Michelle crazier. But Tamar would tell them all.
Yeah. Team
Oh,
Michelle.
No. Hold up. Did you see K. Michelle and Angela Yee's interview?
I didn't.
K. Michelle has no problem with telling you about your stuff and telling you that she's not your friend or not messing with you at this moment.
Oh.
But I think I'm gonna go with Rihanna. Rihanna's to me, she has a little strand of crazy in her. If it's about to go down, she ready.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say Tamar.
Okay.
I got Keisha.
Okay. But
Her name is Keisha. Like,
oh,
Keisha
but K.
got it.
Michelle, like you don't feel like K.
Keisha
Michelle
and
got-
Jerisha,
But
like, we
think
can
about
do
it.
this.
K. Michelle talk about cry and he think I love him. Like listen to
She
her.
love
She
'em
don't
all.
be
That's
playing.
what she said.
Exactly. She love them all. Everything. Like all right. Okay. By what time did you have to be home when you were a kid? When it got dark, 8 p.m., when the street lights came on, and midnight.
Street lights.
Streetlights.
Street lights.
When it got dark.
Yeah.
For real, like, yeah, that's how my mama was. But when I go to my daddy's house, it was when the street lights came on. But my mama used to say, when it gets dark, you need to come in the house. It could be like 6 o'clock in Michigan.
Yeah.
Lady, who's in the house at this time? Like, we are about to have fun. I'm right in front of the house. Let me play. No, just come in the house. For what? But it was cool because we had cable. So, cartoons, right on time for them. No problem. Okay. I'm with it. But everybody else, when it got dark or when the street lights came on, I wish. Just like roll bounce.
Streetlights came on so early, though. It was almost like, it was just like sunset when the streetlights came on. It was like, come on, man.
That's true. Except for summertime. Summertime. I used to love when I was a kid. We used to walk to the corner store. Bad.
All the time.
So bad.
So if mama sent you to the store with $5, what were you supposed to bring back? A cold pop, a lottery ticket, some cigarettes, or her change?
Her change.
Her change.
Her
Definitely
change.
her change.
Bring me back my change. Whatever it was, she was not playing. And I used to say, I am in need of your money. Just donate.
I mean, $5. How much change is really
Exactly. Girl, you got 30 cents. Stop playing with me.
Right.
I need that.
Okay. Which food do you ask a certain family member to make? Because nobody else can make it right. Mac and cheese, potato salad, deviled eggs, or dressing?
Mac and cheese. But you know what?
Mac and cheese and dressing.
I
They
know,
potato
but dressing
salad.
too, like-
Potato salad.
Recipe,
Yeah,
Man,
potato
my
salad.
family
Ooh,
just go
and I
with
love
potato
that
salad all
man.
day.
I just think everything on the menu.
All of the above.
All of the above, because everybody can't make it all. Like,
That's true. Majority wins, so all the above.
All the
Thank
above.
you.
Right,
All
yes.
the above,
I'm gonna say mac and cheese because that's my all-time
Yeah,
first
mac
love.
and cheese.
Ew.
No, just
What?
Ew.
They say
Black card is
Come on,
revoked.
you know damn well when y'all. I don't eat no mac and cheese.
I eat mac and cheese all the
Every
time.
day. I love making breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, that is all the time that we have for you tonight on the Social B Show. This was such a fun game.
Yes.
But before we go to break, I have a tease for the bees. Actually, remember it. I left it with you before the break, actually. Well, a big brother is 4 years old. The younger brother is half his age. How old will the little brother be when the big brother is 100? Okay, let me tell you all about this. When we went to commercial break, the first time that I told you about this, they were literally arguing in the audience as far as what this man's age would be. So I can't even ask them because it was serious over here, like a little focus group. But, it's hilarious. Ladies, tell me, before I ask them, and you can only yell out your answers one time, what do you think the answer is?
I don't want to spoil it for the audience.
You know, brain teasers is not my thing, and I need a long period of time to think about it. So I don't know. I
Okay.
really don't.
Okay. Then you can say yours. What's your answer out here?
98.
750.
They said 50.
It's 98.
96.
750.
Okay.
I'll go with majority rules, 98.
98.
Okay, so the younger brother will definitely be 98. Somebody said 50.
Me and Brooklyn.
You have to think about it. If he's half his age when he's 4, that means he's 2. So when he turns 100, you have to age as a person. So technically he'll be 98. Well, thank you to all who played, tweeted, Instagram, and Snapchatted us at The Social B Show. We would like to thank our guests tonight for joining us. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for The Social B Show. And always remember, be honest, be humble, be you. I'm your host, Sydney B. Have a wonderful week.
Yes!